Josh Gates was once the face of adventure television, the archaeologist-turned-explorer who made discovering the world's mysteries look effortless. From jungles to temples, from lost civilizations to legendary creatures, Gates inspired millions. With his wit, curiosity, and enthusiasm, he became the modern Indiana Jones. But behind the camera-ready smile, Josh Gates's life has unraveled into tragedy. Devastating health crises from relentless travel, a marriage that crumbled under constant absence, near-death experiences leaving permanent scars, professional betrayals destroying friendship, accusations shattering his credibility. This is the heartbreaking story of a man who traveled the entire world only to lose himself completely. The tragic downfall of Josh Gates. In the mid-2000s, Josh Gates emerged as something fresh in adventure television. Born in Massachusetts in 1977, he studied archaeology and drama at Tufts University. His big break came in 2007 with Destination Truth on Sci-Fi Channel. The concept was simple: travel to remote locations investigating cryptids and paranormal phenomena. But Gates made it special with genuine knowledge, self-deprecating humor, and willingness to look foolish on camera. The show ran 5 seasons, building a devoted following. Fans loved his energy and curiosity. Josh Gates was living the dream millions wish they could live, exploring the world, getting paid for it, becoming famous. But dreams often come with hidden costs. By 2015, Josh Gates reached his career peak. Expedition Unknown premiered on Travel Channel with bigger budgets and better production. Instead of chasing monsters, Gates investigated historical mysteries, lost treasures, ancient civilizations, unsolved disappearances. His archaeology degree gave him credibility. His television experience made him engaging. His natural charisma made viewers trust him. Expedition Unknown became Travel Channel's flagship series, drawing millions of viewers. Gates appeared on talk shows, became a household name. At industry events, he was treated like royalty. Nobody could replicate his perfect blend of knowledge, humor, and passion. For a brief moment, Josh Gates seemed invincible, the adventure hero who could do no wrong. But the higher the peak, the deeper the fall. What viewers saw was adventure. What they didn't see was brutal physical toll. Josh Gates spent 250 days per year traveling, 8 to 9 months annually away from home, filming in remote, dangerous, uncomfortable locations. Over 100 countries across all 7 continents. Each location presented health risks, and Gates experienced them all. In 2011, while filming in Papua New Guinea, he contracted severe malaria that nearly killed him. Weeks hospitalized, delirious with fever. Even after recovery, recurring symptoms plagued him for years. Chronic gastrointestinal problems from contaminated food and water, parasitic infections requiring aggressive treatment, dental emergencies from lack of care, constant jet lag destroyed his sleep, leading to chronic insomnia. Gates rarely slept more than 4 hours nightly. The exhaustion was crushing. Physical injuries were worse. In 2016, filming in Peru, Gates suffered serious back injury, a slipped disc sending shooting pain down his legs. He kept filming anyway. Months of physical therapy followed. Even today, he lives with chronic pain that won't heal. A year later, exploring unstable caves, he fractured his ankle. Again, he continued filming. His body was breaking down faster than it could repair. Repeated altitude sickness at extreme elevations caused permanent cardiovascular damage. By his early 40s, medical exams revealed his heart showed wear patterns of someone 20 years older. The adventure lifestyle was literally destroying his body from inside out. But he couldn't stop. The show was his identity. Without it, who was he? While destroying his body chasing adventures, his personal life quietly fell apart. In 2014, he married Hallie Nadovich, a therapist who worked on Destination Truth. They had met while filming. Their relationship seemed like genuine love. Son Owen was born in 2016, daughter Isla in 2018. Gates spoke constantly about his family, calling them his anchor. But reality was darker. He was home perhaps 3 months yearly. Hallie essentially raised 2 children alone. Gates missed birthdays, first steps, first words. All the tiny moments that make up childhood, he wasn't there. When home, he was recovering or preparing for next expedition. Friends reported Hallie begged him to slow down, choose family over career. But Gates couldn't. The call of adventure was too strong. In 2021, the inevitable happened. Josh and Hallie quietly separated. The announcement came through brief social media statement. A year later, divorce was finalized. Custody meant Gates would see his children even less. Scheduled visits, weekends when not filming. In a 2023 interview, Gates opened up about the failure. Voice-breaking, he admitted making a choice. Career over family, adventure over home, fame over people who loved him most. Hallie had given countless chances to change, to prioritize family. Every time he chose the next expedition, she couldn't compete with his obsession. Eventually, she stopped trying. The divorce devastated Gates. It forced him to confront truth. He'd traveled the world, discovered ancient civilizations, but lost the only thing that truly mattered: his family, his home. And that loss was permanent. Josh Gates faced multiple brushes, with death leaving permanent scars. In 2017, filming in Egypt, Gates and crew explored an ancient tomb when structure collapsed. Tons of debris trapped them underground in darkness. For 4 hours they waited, oxygen growing thin, dust choking lungs. Gates believed with certainty he would die there, eventually rescued, but psychological damage was done. He developed severe PTSD and claustrophobia, panic attacks in confined spaces. For an explorer investigating caves and tombs regularly, this was catastrophic. 2 years later came another near-death experience. Deep in the Amazon, Gates participated in an indigenous ceremony involving plant medicine. He suffered severe allergic reaction, cardiovascular collapse, heart rate dangerously irregular. Emergency helicopter evacuation saved his life. 2 weeks hospitalized. Doctors said he came within hours of death, left with permanent heart arrhythmia requiring daily medication. The most damaging incident came in 2020, filming in the Himalayas. Searching for Yeti evidence, Gates lost footing on ice-covered slope, fell 30 feet down mountainside. Injuries were severe. Multiple fractured ribs, serious concussion, massive bruising. Worst damage was left arm. Nerve damage never fully healed, leaving permanent reduced sensation and chronic pain. Even today, Gates cannot fully use his left hand. These near-death experiences transformed him. The fearless explorer died in those moments. What emerged was haunted. In interviews after, you see the change. Easy confidence gone. Quick smile doesn't reach eyes. He speaks about mortality, fragility of life, moments believing he'd never see children again. Psychological scars combined with PTSD created someone constantly waiting for next disaster. Joy had gone from exploration. What remained was fear, pain, and realization. His body couldn't sustain this much longer. As Gates struggled personally, his professional life fractured. In 2020, shows transitioned from Travel Channel to Discovery Plus. Behind scenes, bitter contract disputes, accusations of broken promises. Gates was assured larger budgets, creative control, theatrical releases. Instead, content was buried on streaming with minimal promotion. Viewership plummeted. Gates felt betrayed by executives. Worse were personal betrayals. In 2021, former crew leaked behind-the-scenes footage showing different Josh Gates. Videos showed him berating staff, making unreasonable demands, creating hostile work environment. Multiple crew members came forward. Stories of verbal abuse, favoritism, taking credit for others' work. Gates issued apology, but damage was done. Image of friendly explorer shattered, replaced by someone who under pressure revealed darker personality. Industry insiders described him as territorial, difficult, someone using power to eliminate competition. Professional conflicts extended beyond his crew. Public falling outs with other television hosts. One accused Gates of blocking their show from being greenlit. Another claimed Gates stole investigation techniques. Industry insiders described him as territorial, someone seeing other shows as competition to eliminate. Once seen as friendly face of adventure TV, now viewed as someone who'd use power to protect his empire. Even longtime friendships fractured. People who worked since Destination Truth days found themselves pushed out. When they tried maintaining relationships, Gates was distant, unavailable. The isolation became complete. Professionally, Gates burned bridges throughout industry. Former allies wanted nothing to do with him. His reputation shifted from beloved explorer to difficult and toxic. In tight-knit adventure television world, that reputation spread quickly. By 2023, increasingly alone, not just personally, but professionally. The network he'd built over decades crumbled. If professional betrayals were painful, accusations about his work were devastating. In 2022, whistleblower came forward with explosive claims. Certain discoveries on Expedition Unknown had been staged. Artifacts shown being unearthed were planted by crew hours before filming. Specific accusation, ancient coins episode. Whistleblower claimed coins were purchased and deliberately placed for dramatic television moment. Gates denied allegations but couldn't provide proof of authenticity. More accusations followed. Researchers examined episodes, pointing out inconsistencies. Professional archaeologists began distancing themselves. Some publicly criticized him for prioritizing entertainment over scientific accuracy. Academic institutions previously welcoming Gates now refused participation. His credibility, foundation of entire career, was under serious attack. YouTube channels debunking episodes gained millions of views. Former fans felt betrayed. Social media became toxic. Gates deleting comments and blocking critics made things worse. Credibility credibility crisis went beyond staged discoveries. Critics questioned Gates's archaeological credentials themselves. Yes, he had Tufts degree, but had he ever practiced archaeology professionally before television? Answer was no. Entire career in entertainment. Never worked real excavation outside filming. Never published academic papers. Never contributed to archaeological knowledge meaningfully. This revelation hit hard. Gates built reputation on being archaeologist turned television host. Reality was someone with archaeology degree going straight into entertainment. The distinction mattered. His authority was based on performance, not genuine expertise. Once viewers understood, they saw shows differently. Not authentic explorations, but entertainment loosely based on real history. Impact on legacy was profound. 2 decades building reputation as someone bringing real exploration to television. Now, that legacy was tainted. No longer invited to speak at universities. Not asked to participate in conferences. Respect from professional community evaporated. By 2023, cumulative weight became too much. Health problems, divorce, near-death experiences, professional controversies, attacks on credibility. Josh Gates reached breaking point. Unprecedented for his reliability, Gates suddenly canceled multiple filming commitments. Productions scheduled for months put on hold. Crew sent home. Something was very wrong. News leaked. Gates checked into private mental health facility, diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety disorder. According to people close, he'd become suicidal. The pressure, guilt, pain pushed him to see ending his life as only way out. 6 weeks intensive treatment, completely off social media, unreachable. When he emerged, visibly changed. Energy was gone. Looked older, tired, defeated. In raw emotional interview, Gates opened up about mental health crisis, PTSD from near-death experiences, nightmares of collapsed tombs and falling mountains, panic attacks without warning, crushing guilt over missing children's lives while chasing fame. Gates confessed to serious alcohol problem during darkest period, using drinking to cope with stress, pain, overwhelming failure. Started as wine to help sleep despite chronic insomnia. It escalated, soon drinking heavily every night, on location, between filming, alone in hotel rooms where nobody knew him. Alcohol provided temporary escape from unbearable thoughts. He spoke about contemplating suicide, times when pain felt so overwhelming that ending it seemed rational. Standing in hotel rooms, looking out windows, seriously considering jumping, having detailed plans. Only thing stopping him was thinking about his children. Idea they'd grow up knowing father killed himself, that they'd blame themselves. That tiny thread of connection, though he barely saw them, kept him alive. The interview was devastating. Not the Josh Gates millions knew. Not confident explorer with quick joke. A broken man, barely holding together, speaking about desire to die. Treatment helped him survive, pulled back from edge, but didn't fix him. Depression remained. Anxiety persisted. As Gates struggled with mental health, his career began final collapse. By 2024, numbers were undeniable. Expedition Unknown viewership dropped 60% from peak. Discovery Plus began cutting budgets. Fewer international locations, smaller crews, cheaper production. Show once spanning globe, now filming closer to home with reduced quality. Expedition X spinoff was quietly canceled. Other projects shelved. Network executives stopped returning calls. Message clear. Josh Gates no longer the draw he once was. Industry rumors painted him as difficult, unreliable after mental health crisis. Perception he couldn't be counted on. Lost hosting gigs for special events, passed over for new shows. Financial impact severe. Divorce settlement and child support drained savings. Medical bills accumulated. Reduced income meant Gates couldn't maintain lifestyle. Forced to sell Los Angeles home, move to smaller property. Man who traveled first class now flew economy. Reports of Gates at fan conventions doing paid meet and greets felt desperate. Desperate to remain relevant. Gates attempted reinvention. Started podcast featuring exploration stories and interviews. Never gained traction. Critics accused recycling old stories, offering nothing new. Audience numbers disappointing. Attempted YouTube channel but faced stiff competition. Younger creators producing content with production values rivaling television. Channel struggled gaining subscribers. Videos received modest views. Comment sections filled with criticism rather than adoration. He pitched new television concepts to networks. Different formats, different approaches. Network after network passed. They didn't see value. Adventure documentary space was crowded. Gates no longer had draw to stand out. Repeated rejections, humiliating for someone once courted by competing networks. Friends described him as increasingly bitter and resentful. resentful, complaining about younger hosts, less qualified, less deserving, blamed networks for not supporting him, blamed changing tastes, blamed everyone except himself. Josh Gates, once known for humility, became someone consumed by bitterness. As career collapsed, Gates found himself increasingly isolated. Early Destination Truth crew no longer spoke to him. Years of difficult behavior, controversies, leaked footage burned those bridges. When Gates reached out, messages went unanswered. At industry events, people avoided him. Professional relationships throughout television deteriorated. Producers saw him as toxic. Executives viewed him as liability. Even other adventure hosts kept distance. Reputation as difficult, unreliable, past prime became impossible to escape. But most heartbreaking isolation was from his own children. Custody meant seeing them few times monthly. Brief visits feeling strained and awkward. Years of absence created unbridgeable gap. His son and daughter barely knew him. To them, essentially a stranger occasionally appearing, trying too hard to connect. Gates admitted children felt like strangers to him. He'd missed so much. He didn't know who they were. Their interests, personalities, daily routines, all foreign. He was tourist in their lives, allowed brief visits but never truly belonging. Even remaining personal friendships withered. People exhausted by his negativity and bitterness, put off by drinking, which despite treatment remained problem. Simply didn't know how to help someone pushing everyone away. Social media, once connecting warmly with fans, became minefield. Posts received more criticism than support. When sharing anything personal, he was attacked. When promoting work, people reminded him of controversies, eventually posted less frequently. By 2025, Josh Gates existed in profound loneliness he'd created. Lived alone in modest home, no partner, no close friends checking in regularly, minimal contact with children. Man who traveled every corner of Earth, met thousands, been surrounded by crews and fans, was utterly alone. Recent photographs show change starkly. Gone is vibrant explorer. In his place, man looking older than years. Worn by health problems, trauma, regret. Ready smile now looks forced. Painted for camera, but never reaching eyes. Not the Josh Gates millions love. This is what remains after everything stripped away. Broken man living with consequences of choices he can never undo. Looking at Josh Gates today, picture is undeniably tragic. He still technically has show. Expedition Unknown continues limping along with drastically reduced viewership and budget, but feels like ghost of what it was. Gates going through motions, lacking passion and energy that once made work compelling. Health continues deteriorating. Chronic pain persists. Heart arrhythmia requires constant management. Mental health struggles remain ongoing battle. Career effectively over. Opportunities dried up. Public moved on to newer faces. Few projects remind people how far he's fallen. Financially nowhere near stability once enjoyed. Most tragic is permanent damage to relationship with children. Those early years missed are gone forever. Foundation built through daily presence, he forfeited that. While he may have visitation rights, he's lost being their dad meaningfully. Josh Gates once said, "Adventure is worthwhile in itself, that pursuing unknown justifies any sacrifice." Today, those words echo with bitter irony. He discovered what lay at pursuit's end. Not treasure or glory. Loss. Loss of health. Loss of family. Loss of credibility. Loss of himself. He explored entire world but lost his way home. The tragic downfall of Josh Gates is complete.